This is Mitch for Indigenous Insights. I'm over in Pequaming. I'm at the KBIC-NRD. I'm here with Miss Erin Johnston. How's it going, Erin?
Going well. How are you?
I'm doing good. Let me scoot over here more and make sure we're getting good levels and stuff. All right, so I came over here for kind of a dual purpose. We're recording the show now. We're starting the show, so welcome to the show. Welcome everybody to the show. Can you tell us a little bit about what we did here today?
Sure. So we offer a lot of opportunities out here at the Natural Resource Department for tours. So we have, a hatchery facility, we have a greenhouse facility, lots of different things going on all the time. And obviously with COVID and kind of wanting to stay at home and not encourage gatherings, we're not able to offer those tours in person to people. And so we were approached by a professor at Michigan Tech and wondered if we could somehow put together somewhat of a virtual tour of the programs that we do out here. And that sounded cool, but also a little overwhelming. We're not IT people. We weren't really sure what to do or how to do it. And we decided maybe we would try to record some videos about not all of our programs, because some of them are better highlighted during the summertime, during the field season, but a good handful of our programs out here at the Natural Resource Department. And so reached out to you, Mitch, and said, hey, we have this project, this idea, and we're not really sure how to make it happen. Could you help us? So Here we are.
So what we did today was, I guess this would be officially labeled a production meeting. And some of the different things that we're going to be showing in these videos to college students, right?
Yep.
Is the fish hatcheries, the plants. Well, what are the different departments? We've got plants, fish hatcheries. You said AIS.
Yep, the Aquatic Invasive Species and Fisheries programs, wildlife, and our environmental program. So there we would talk about things like the solid waste facility, some of the on-the-ground projects for environmental protection, water program, and our air program.
And I think the production meeting went pretty well because this is kind of a short turnaround. We got to shoot a lot of video. We got to turn around just in a few weeks here. Yeah. But I think we come up with a really good plan to show what's going on. Like in the fish hatcheries, we're actually going to get a camera in there and do kind of a tour with a voiceover. Without giving away too much, why don't you give us a little bit of a teaser of some of the things like that are in the fish hatchery that we might see on this video?
Yeah, so we have two different facilities. So you'll get to see kind of our main hatchery facility, what types of system we have working in there and why, and different age fish throughout the two facilities. And one's called the isolation, one's the main hatchery, so you get a little information on why we have two buildings and what goes on in each of them. See the different age fish, I'll be honest and say I don't even know which fish we have out there right now. if we have lake trout and brook trout, or if we just have one or the other in
wet
there right
ones.
Now. Pardon?
Wet ones.
Yes, we have wet fish in there. So it'll be. I'm excited for this because I think this is an opportunity. These are the impetus for this is a class.
Yeah.
But of course these will be able to be shared more widely on our Facebook page, on our website, and so that all the community can check out what we're doing out here, and then hopefully come out here in person eventually someday.
Yeah, because I know I've talked to a few different people that have toured the hatchery before, and every single person, there's like, oh, I remember when I toured the hatchery. Yeah. I remember when I toured the hatchery. Everybody it's something that they remember. Mm-hmm. I'm really excited for the wildlife one too. So the cameras are going to be here at the NRD facility, but you're also going to be getting some cameras out in the woods, checking cameras and things like that too. That's really cool. So, and you're going to be the camera person for that one, right?
I think I might try to be the camera person. Yep. I figure, Kyle and Austin in our wildlife program, they're way more entertaining than I am. So I thought I would follow them around with a camera and just let them do their thing, have their own little reality TV show for 15 minutes.
That's going to be fun. See, I think, that's a cool part too, that we're in the production meeting, we're kind of talking about the different things we can show. And I mentioned that I don't think there's a reason to be disappointed if we can't fit something into these first videos, because we can always come back and do it again. And that's one of the things about this place is that there's so much that changes over the season, such as the plants. What you called it, the dome.
Yeah, the dome. So our geodesic biodome, our greenhouse is essentially what it is. And Karina is getting ready to get that fired up, to get it warmed up in there and start germinating seeds to eventually go out to our restoration site. So that's kind of exciting, and doesn't take too long, and within a few months that it's just so green inside there. It'll be awesome. We'll be sharing pictures and kind of that transformation over time.
And see, that's the only way to really appreciate it too, is to get in there. We'll be able to see it on this video. Now, even if we get a class in there, they're going to go in there and see the beginnings of this process. Yes. So that way, when we can come back and do a follow-up, we get to see the results. So another thing I wanted to talk about with you, and this is kind of speaking on the whole NRD, on behalf of the NRD, is I've noticed you guys have been really heavy in the social media presence lately. Is that something you guys have really been concentrating on?
Yes, it has. So we, I think, pride ourselves on offering outreach and education opportunities, and it's been really difficult to do that, obviously, in these times of COVID when we can't gather, because we're so, encouraging these social opportunities for us to come together and learn more about what we do and about the culture and things like that is very central to our department, and we just haven't been able to do that. And we just realized, well, there are these other ways that we can share, and our web page is one of those ways, but also Facebook.
Facebook.
Everybody's on social media, right? So we sought permission to start a Facebook page. And we've been trying really hard to be consistent and have different theme days and just try to, highlight the things that we're doing, get people interested in what we're doing.
The one that pops in my head is the Wildlife Wednesday. Yeah. That's the one I love. There's lots of different...
Yeah, I think that's a favorite of a lot of folks, and we're trying to kind of diversify. So we've shared pictures, we've shared some inserts from our wildlife stewardship plan. And Austin is actually up right now flying. He's doing the aerial surveys.
Wow.
So we're hoping to share some pictures and footage of that next week on the Facebook page.
So let's throw that out there again for Austin one more time. Shout out to his program. He's looking for people to do interviews for the CWD.
Yes. So he is working with University of Minnesota on a chronic wasting disease project. So he's looking for people to do in-person or over-the-phone interviews. And also, if you go to our Facebook page, I think just yesterday for Wildlife Wednesday posted... there's another survey you can just take online that is looking specifically for tribal hunters. So if you are a deer hunter, a former deer hunter, and a tribal member, check out our Facebook page. Or if you don't have Facebook and you're still interested in participating in that, please reach out to us and we can send you the link.
It's important. I mean, it's important to Austin and the study that he's doing, but you'll also learn something. I mean,
absolutely,
because that's what Austin was telling me about, is that there's a lot of kind of fear-based thinking when it comes to CWD, so we have to kind of learn and be aware.
Yes, absolutely.
So what else can we talk about here in this little break? You have the at the KBIC solid waste facilities, those events have still been going on, but I heard that they're by appointment only now?
Yeah, so our last flyer said by appointment only, and I'll be honest, I'm not sure if they're going to change that. So it used to be the first Saturday of every month. There was the waste oil collection event. We do also try to offer other events throughout the year. We've done household hazardous waste in the past. We've done electronic waste. And I think there's still an intention to continue programs like that in the future.
So the recycling oil event, that's the first Saturday of every month? Mm-hmm. The e-waste one, was that intermittent one too, or is that just we have to wait and see?
You're quizzing me on things and I feel like... Here, look, here's the flyer right here.
Oh, there it is.
E-waste and waste oil recycling. So it looks like you can bring both. First Saturday of every month from 9 to 11, you can bring both waste oil and e-waste. And the flyers, again, these flyers are on our Facebook page. They're also sent throughout the government.
Yeah, we've been sharing them. They're on the What's Up program and such.
Yep.
Okay.
And you can always just reach out to us if you have specific questions.
Because there are some specifics with that.
Yeah.
So what else do you have? What do you specifically have other than the video projects here? What else has been going on?
Oh, this is our time to start planning. So we're heading into March. March is when we start planning for field season. Once the snow's gone, our frog and toad surveys start in April and they go through July. Kyle will be gearing up for his bat surveys for June and July. We're going to try to do owl surveys. That was something we've never done before. So those are March. And they're working on selecting their sites for that. Our wetland work will start up again in the summertime. So there's never really a dull moment out here. There's always something going on with someone.
So when you say owl surveys and bat surveys, are you talking about making measurements in the field or surveying people?
Making measurements in the field.
Okay.
So this would be actually monitoring the presence of these species on the landscape. So we've never done owl surveys before, so this is something new to us, and there's been a couple different protocols we've looked at, but I think we decided on testing out a protocol that was shared with us from Minnesota where you basically just kind of set up transects and you drive them certain distances and you just stop and listen.
Okay.
And then there are other ones where you play a recorder and try to get the owls to call back to you, and then you can kind of determine which species are calling back to you. And then for bat surveys, the same thing. So Kyle, I always call him the Batman because he's really the one who has all the training and his rabies shots and all the things, so he can interact with bats. And so he puts out stationary recording devices throughout the reservation, and then he actually drives around with a recording device on his truck.
Okay.
So, late at night in June and July, if you ever see a NRD truck slowly creeping down your road with a weird thing on the front of it, it's just Kyle. He's looking for bats. He's not, it's just recording their sounds.
What I would encourage you to do though is shout out, "Hey Batman!"
Yeah.
I have a question. This is just a random one now because it was this summer, I think, or maybe towards the end of the summer, someone had posted a picture of a boat out in the bay here and had lights on it, and I had read it was doing some kind of survey or something out there. Was that you guys at all, or is that another agency?
It was at night?
Yeah, I think it was at nighttime. It was a boat that had a bunch of lights around it. I can't remember who even shared it, just a local person here. And it was a boat and I thought there was a comment on there, they were surveying something, but I couldn't remember what it was.
I don't know.
No?
I'll be completely honest and say I don't know. It could have been Michigan Tech's research vessel doing some kind of zooplankton work. It could have been, us doing some kind of, I guess I don't know what night surveys other than maybe like walleye.
Yeah, I don't know. Fish or something. I don't know. I have no idea.
That's a really good question.
So when it comes to a lot of this work, well, you're partnering with MTU for these videos, right?
Yeah, well, this is for specifically for a class that's with Val Gagnon up at Michigan Tech. But yeah, that was just kind of the push to try to put these videos together.
So what's some of the other kind of work that you might do kind of with them, I guess, or for them, like
with Michigan Tech?
Yeah.
Oh, all kinds of stuff. We have another project right now working with some researchers up at Michigan Tech looking at the stamp sands and how they've migrated from the community of Keweenaw Bay down the shoreline and
that's another big
deposited
one
on Sandpoint. So yeah, that'll be another forthcoming video. The story of Sandpoint and the beautiful restoration site we have out there now. So that's one project that we have going on that should be wrapping up in the next year. There's one where we're looking at some more work up at Torch Lake, kind of looking at PCBs and mercury.
PCBs, what is that again?
Oh, don't ask.
I can Google it.
PCBs, that's what they are.
It's something bad, right?
Yes, it's a contaminant. So there's a lot of things left over from legacy mining around here.
Yep.
And so that's one of them. Torch Lake, of course, is important because it's connected to Portage Lake, and there's walleye, and that's a main spearing area.
Yeah.
And we just want to make sure that the fish are healthy in
those
areas.
Oh, sorry. I guess another question was popping in my head then is, I guess when I picture you guys doing your work, I picture of a lot of it here on the reservation, but you guys are getting off the reservation quite a bit, and you cover all ceded territory.
Yeah, so we try to. Oftentimes we work with Glyphwick if we're off reservation, or other tribes or agencies. But yeah, I mean, our emphasis is the reservation, of course.
Okay.
But there are concerns because tribal members don't just stay within the reservation to exercise their treaty rights. They go off, and so we need to be aware of what's going on out there too.
That's really cool. So what else can we talk about here? I'm just trying to find things out because I drove all the way over to Pequaming, so I feel like we got to get the most out of this.
I was just trying to figure out what PCB stood for, and I think it's something like polychlorinated biphenyls or something.
Man.
I'll find out later if that's correct.
Yeah, science.
Dion will correct me.
I got a question. This is a good one. This is a good kind of a standard question.
Okay.
Because, the work you're doing here, there's some passion in the work. I mean, you're not
Very
just here
much.
punching in, punching out, and doing a job. What does motivate you to do this work? What drives you?
It is truly the only thing I think I've ever really wanted to do.
Really?
Like when I was a kid, I was really into the outdoors and animals. once upon a time I thought, oh, I'll be a vet like most kids. And, that wasn't my true calling. I went down a couple other paths in college, and it just really pulled me back to like, this is wildlife was what I was always interested in, natural resources, and how could I make that into a career? And I try to, sometimes I think like, okay, well, if I wasn't doing this, what else would I do?
Mm-hmm.
And I can't think of anything else that would be as rewarding to me as, natural resource, something in the natural resource.
So when are the moments, or what is a moment that pops in your head is where that reward is the sweetest? Like you're like, yep, this is why I do what I do.
Like when Austin and Kyle come back from the field and they're like, a wolf ran across the road in front of us today. I was like, that's so cool. Like we do a job where like that's, that's it. We're just out looking for these things or monitoring, like it's just,
they're out there.
Yeah. When you're out in the field and you have, these encounters or these realizations, or you just have that moment. You're just like, wow, like this is my job. Like, I get paid to do this. Like this is pretty amazing.
All right, well, very cool. I think we could probably wrap it up there. It's coming up on 1 o'clock. What day is it today? Thursday. We're recording Thursday, on Thursday. So the videos, we're going to get to work on the videos, and everybody can stay up to date with what the NRD is doing on the Facebook page, your guys' website. These videos are going to be popping up on YouTube probably, right? For people.
I think that's the way we thought we would put them together and share them, so then we can share those links on Facebook.
All right, and also as we hit like kind of another round when it comes to NRD is involved with the Indigenous Insights program. So as we hit another round, there's lots of upcoming plans and stuff. Like I really want to get a camera out there with the Batman now. That sounds that sounds like such a fun time.
Do a ride along or something. I don't think it's terribly exciting, but it's pretty neat afterwards. So he brings it. The information back, he runs it through the software, and it actually pulls out which species were detected.
Oh, so, I see. Yeah. So he kind of kick back a little bit and just cruise around.
So it's not like you're necessarily seeing or interacting with the bats, at that time. But I think he can see on the recording device, like when it's picking up.
Okay.
The sounds. So that's
that'd be cool. I'd be sitting there. There's one.
Frog and toad surveys are really fun too if you ever want to take along.
So what do you do with
those? Are cool. So those are the same thing. Like we have designated locations. I think there's 14 throughout the reservation. You go out at a certain time of night, and you're just listening. So we're listening to hear the different species, and then you categorize them. So 1 is like you hear 1. 2 is you hear a couple of frogs, and then a 3 designation is like there's a whole chorus of them.
Yeah.
And so that's always pretty fun because you end up running into other things too.
Yeah, I mean, I picture like the sound of a summer night, and it's just kind of a chorus of sounds. I mean, how do you even pick that up?
So it is difficult. I usually have to like kind of cup my hand behind my ear to try to pull out some of the other, because like the spring peepers are deafening, and if they're out there, then it's really hard to hear anything.
That is such a cool job. I mean, that's like how many people's favorite sound.
Yeah.
People play that to go to sleep. That sound, don't they? Like that kind of sound.
Yes, the sounds of nature. Yeah.
And you're out there breaking it down.
Yeah, we're out there like, this is so cool. Yeah.
All right, so I guess we'll wrap it up, and we'll look forward to meeting again, and we'll look forward to the next project. And thanks for being on the show.
All right, big witch.